Did today feel weird to you? Like a deja vu of a day?
It was a playdown day to the final table. Kind of like every other playdown day, I guess.
No, it's more than that. It was like we were in the same situation with the same people. It was like Borgata Poker Open all over again, because you've got 3 guys from the top 11 at Borgata here making the final table in Jacksonville. It is the sequel to Borgata. It is.
Okay.
Borgata 2, Best Bet Buzgaloo with Jess and BJ. Are you giggling at the Buzgaloo?
How many puns are you working into this title at
None
once?
of these are puns, they're just references.
Okay.
You know, you have Daniel
Feels a little
Buskin at
overloaded
his
to me.
second final table after getting 3rd at Borgata, and so he's the Buzgaloo, and then you've got
The Buzgaloo.
Darren Elias, who finished 5th at Borgata, making the same this final table as well, and you've got Will Failla, who was 11th at Borgata, now front runner in the WPT Player of the Year race, going for title number 2 of the season.
All that is very cool. I'm just wrapping my mind around the fact that I doubt anyone in our audience has seen Breakin' 1, much less Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And we will fix that.
That's not, God, please don't make them watch it. Don't make me watch it. But yes, Will Failla is definitely our headliner.
Yes, but before we...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, don't we need to settle up?
I guess we do. Because I won.
Did
I
you?
forgot what it was, but I'm pretty sure I won. Tony Dunst. That's what it was. The bookie set a line. Would Tony Dunst make the final table? His finishing position was 6.5. I took the under because I had faith in Bond 18. He came through, made that final table. Score me. We are tied. It all comes down to this.
And it's always nice when you have someone on Team WPT that you can quite openly say, we want you to do well, instead of being
Except for
objective.
Jess, who didn't pick him. So she's not quite as on Team WPT as I am.
I just took the other side of the line.
Yeah, that's what not picking him means. Sorry, Tony, I think you're going to bubble the final table. But anyway, new line for today, and this one is based on Will Failla.
Back to Will Failla lines, I see.
Who has taken the lead in the WPT Player of the Year race.
Poor Joe Sirac is railing the final table when we're down to 7, and he's a little mopey, and his friends are like, this guy gets to have the Player of the Year lead for 8 days.
But what a week.
Will had it for 230 something and then snatched it back.
And now he's
sitting
got it
on,
at least overnight, though Daniel Buzgaloo could still pass him.
To quickly explain, he's sitting on 2,050 points right now.
Okay.
If he goes out 6th, Daniel can take the lead only if he wins, though.
Right, and if Will finishes 5th, Buzgaloo can tie him.
He can tie with a win.
Right, so it's not, we still don't know who will have the lead heading into the WPT Championship, but regardless, right now the line is set for Will Failla.
How many points is he going to have at the end of this final table?
And to get 2,400 points, he will have to finish 2nd or 1st. So if you choose the higher, you're picking him to finish 1st or 2nd. And Will is 3rd in chips.
I know you're supposed to, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and I always take the pro side of these Will lines, but this is a tough final table, and he's already won one, and there are people who are really hungry and making...
See, Will, you should have harassed her more the way Tommy Vitas did.
I'm gonna take it.
So bad. As you will see in the draft, I am pro Will Failla.
I am pro Will Failla, but
yeah, so pro that you
I'm
think
gonna
he's
play
gonna
the
bust
BJ.
3rd or lower.
Oh, numbers, bloody blah stats.
Math.
Math.
All right, so I'm on Team Failla, and you're on Team You Hate Will.
It's not draft time yet, though.
That's fine.
We gotta run down what happened today first.
I guess we started with 16 players and we finished with 6. All right, we done? Anything?
Well, some highlights.
Okay.
Not highlights for these people, but some of the notable things that happened along the day. I think the most dramatic bust out was that of Matt Marifiotti in 9th place.
The most notable too.
It was just a hand that was kind of a weird hand where he raised to something like 4.5 times the blind, and Sean Kunix defends. It comes ace, something, deuce. Sean checks, and Matt just moved all in for 600K when there was something like 150 in the pot. And Sean had flopped bottom set to Matt's top pair.
And it held.
So that is why Sean has the chip lead going into the final table, and Matt is out in 9th. And then you had our WPT Grand Prix de Paris 3rd place finisher Byron Kaverman, He busted out just shy of the final table in 7th place.
Yeah, the Murphy-Adi hand was a little surreal for some of the players because it started as the level ended, so some of the players went on break. Didn't realize that the big hand developed. It kind of happened quietly, and they came back, and
the
Murphy-Adi
action
was
went
gone.
very quickly, was my understanding.
Murphy-Adi was gone, and they were like, whoa, what happened? And that's what happened.
All right, we did our Rochambeau, and I'm back to my winning ways, and I won and deferred. So you, sir, get the first pick in the draft.
We have 2 big chip leaders in Sean Kunix and James Calderero, both above 2 million. We've got 3 in the $1.5 million range: Will Failla, Tony Dunst, Darren Elias, and Daniel Buzgaloo, the short stack at 570,000. So setting it up that way, I am going pro Will Failla.
Wow, oh, you're pulling the Tommy Vitas. You're just gonna go big.
No, on day 1A, you asked the question for our best bet episode, which player do we like in this tournament? I picked Will Failla. So I'm riding that horse to the end. Will Failla, 3rd in chips, 1st pick overall. It's his season. He's crushing. He is on fire. He's one of the hottest players in the game right now. And 3rd in chips ain't no big thing. Will's gonna take this down, gonna win player of the year. I'm gonna win the draft and the over-under. Team Will on Team BJ.
Is this a Pop's cheesesteak at the championship that we're wagering on?
Ooh, I like that. Yes, Pop's cheesesteak.
Okay.
We will bet it.
Sign it up.
Book it.
I am going to do something a little risky, but I like what I'm going to do.
Picking Daniel Buzgaloo, number 1, right?
No, I'm not doing that. What I am doing is I'm going to take James Calderero.
Okay.
Because he is 2nd in chips with 2.1 million, and this guy has just been chipping up. That I really like the way he was playing today. He was doing it in pots that were not, it was a lot of small pots, like low risk picking up chips situations. That's the kind of player I like to see, so I'm gonna take him. And with my 2nd pick, I'm going to take Darren Elias. Even though he is 5th in chips, I'm not leaving this guy on the board. I think he is just so talented and plays so well. You're talking about a guy who came in 2nd to last in chips today and ended up making the final table. So he's just an extraordinarily skilled player. He's been here before. I think he probably was a bit disappointed with how things worked out at Borgata, finishing 5th. He's going to do better, and I like my chances with him.
I definitely agree Darren is a value pick, and to be honest, I thought when I picked Will, you would take the 2 chip leaders, and I would get Darren on my team. She outsmarted me a little there, but that's okay. My 2nd pick overall, I'm getting chip leader Sean Kunix.
I was gonna say, that's not a bad trade-off.
4th overall, 2.7 million in chips. He has more than 3rd and 4th put together, or about equal to where 3rd and 4th are. I'll take that. Sean Kunix, he has final table experience. He was at the final table at Borgata, finished 6th.
Bellagio, he final table
that's
Bellagio.
Right. I'm just seeing him at Borgata. Anyway, he's got WPT final table experience, so it's not going to be new to him. He's got a 6th place. He's been there, done that. Coming in with a chip lead, Sean Kunix. I'll say this: if he doesn't win, he's definitely going to improve on 4th, which is what I'm getting him. 5th pick overall, Team WPT, Tony Dunst, Bond 18. We're sweating it. I picked him to make the final table yesterday. Following through, I think Tony easily going to outperform a 5th place finish. I'm getting him 5th in the draft.
No pressure, Tony.
No, Tony, I have faith. You have commentated all these final tables. You have seen how everybody plays.
It's kind of interesting.
Not these guys, but you.
These guys.
Oh, that's right. He was commentating the...
He didn't commentate Borgata, but he did do Legends of Poker with Will Failla, and he did do raw deal segments on the guys at Borgata that he does have thoughts and experience with thinking about how these guys play.
Yes. What she said, I'm picking Tony Dunst on my team.
All right. That leaves me with Daniel Buzgaloo, who is the shortest stack in the field, but as we established in our Club WPT Player of the Day interview with him yesterday, he's very good at holding on to the chips, as he calls it, back in my cave. So I have a feeling he can, he can get back in the cave and work his way up. I think at Borgata that was kind of what happened, is he was one of the shorter stacks coming in and then he worked his way up to a 3rd place finish, so I think he can do it again.
Under 20 big blinds, he's got a big road to climb, but I'm rooting for him.
He was in worse, again, today he was in worse shape because Tony Dunst doubled through him, leaving him with very little, and you thought he probably wouldn't make the final table, and then he ended up making the final table.
Oh, I didn't think that. But the figurative view.
He's a cave fighter, a caveman. Neither of those sounds right. He's a wild man.
Sounds like you're trying to describe Byron Caverman, but
he is fun.
okay.
So I like him in the 6th pick. I think it's possible for him to certainly outperform 6th. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
All right, we've already gotten some Twitter feedback on our teams. Justin Zaki thinks they're kind of even. I think they're kind of even.
They're pretty evenly matched, and the table's not shallow, but it's not super deep stack either, that one hand, one coin flip can change a lot. So.
We each have one of the chip leads. I like the skill balance on our 2 teams. This should be good. Winner gets a Pop's cheesesteak in Vegas.
Sounds good. All right. Since we said that this, I said at least, that this final table is kind of like a sequel, and we have our very own Bond at it, the question of the day is, what is your favorite Bond sequel?
Oh, we're going that way. Thought we were going a different way. Okay, you go first.
What did you think we were doing?
Something else. Go ahead.
Well, here's my problem. I made this question and then I realized I've only ever seen the very first Bond movie, Casino Royale with David Niven, and the new Casino Royale, which I thought was really, really stupid. So I'm going to go with any movie that isn't the second Casino Royale. Probably something with Sean Connery in it.
The second Casino Royale being the 2000...
The Daniel Craig one where they have the dumbest hand of poker known to man, where like the guy moves in with the straight, then the guy moves in with the full house, and then the guy moves in with the quads, and then it's like, oh, look, Bond played 6-7 like a moron and made a straight flush.
Okay, barring the poker in that movie, which was pretty bad, I'm picking that movie. So, Face.
Really? There's a...
The rest of that movie rocked. They rebooted the franchise. It was awesome. No, the bad guy ran up.
He chased a man up a building. Does that make any sense to you? Where is he going to run to?
Have you seen any other James Bond film ever?
I just told you I didn't.
That's what a James Bond film is. It's ludicrous action sequences. Right.